to another episode of Bro Bets, brought to you by Bro Media. I am Lifeofdgreen. We will begin Parlay Hunter in here in 1 second. Give me 1 second. We will have him in here. Man, what a week. I mean, first and foremost, man, we appreciate y'all, man. Comment, like, subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to our page on Instagram, Bro Media. The show, Bro Bets, man. We have a jam-packed week. Hope you like the new format as well. Always live. We're going live now on YouTube with everything. It's more information to gravitate to you. And I like the segment of going every Tuesday now. Just more information. Being too that it is the trade deadline as well. I also like that as well. So I'm just waiting for Parlay to get in here real quick. Man, anyways, man, big news in NFL. Chase Young going to the San Francisco 49ers. We got Montez Sweat going to the Bears. Washington rebuilding. Now, I think they're building for Caleb Williams eventually as well. Also, for me, I just think that this was a wild week in the NFL, man. The Chiefs losing to the Broncos. My Steelers losing to the Jaguars. A lot of people dismayed this week, man. Kirk Cousins, we'll talk about that injury as well, man. That's big for the Vikings. Although they did sign Josh Dobbs from the Cardinals today. Waiting for Parlay to get in here. Giants sending Big Leonard Williams to the Seahawks for a couple conditional first-round picks. Rasul Douglas going out to the Bills. Bills needed to hone up that back end pause for the playoff run. So a lot of trades made in the trade deadline, man. I wish that these things could be a great repertoire for us. You know what it is. Phil Collins in the building today, everybody. There you go.
Yo, that's so funny you said that. Yesterday I was with some people and we were having an argument about Phil Collins, and I was telling them that Phil Collins in Genesis was the GOAT, like one of the greatest artists of all time, and they were laughing at me and they were making fun of the way he looks, like saying he looked like mad British. And so yeah, that's just funny that you said that.
Well, this is Bro Bets, brought to you by Bro Media. I am Lifeofdgreen.
Yes, this is a Bro Media production. You know what it is. I'm Parlay Hunter. This is Bro Bets, the hottest podcast in the world.
Yes, sir, man. We have had a very interesting week. I did tell the audience, I love the new format, man. Us going Tuesdays, I feel a lot better about, because like this week, we have so much information. We have breaking news today with all the trades and the trade deadline.
Oh, my God.
Last night, we get to slightly discuss about Devontae Adams. I see the frustration he's dealing with in Las Vegas with the Raiders. Then just a jam-packed week of NFL, man. I mean, the main thing I really feel like we should start with, important news, is the news we've gotten today. Vikings trade to get Dobbs, Young to the 49ers, Montez Sweat to the Bears, Leonard Williams to the Seahawks. A lot of teams making some push, man. Some contentional picks. Rasul Douglas from the Packers to the Bills. Shoring up that D-line, shoring up the back end of their D-backs, and the Vikings getting a quarterback just to salvage the rest of the year. What do you take from today's trade deadline?
Well, 49ers won, like you say, the rich get richer. It's starting to bother me. It's really starting to bother me. It's becoming a super team league. And I mean, I just don't really I don't like that. I don't like how Washington has decided to tank. Because that's what they're doing. You don't trade a guy like Chase Young.
You traded both of your best two defensive linemen on the same day.
They traded Montez Sweat
to the Bears.
So they're tanking, and I don't respect tanking, and I feel like these billion-dollar franchises, there's only 32 teams. You know what I mean? Like, you guys should be way I don't know. It's disrespectful to the fans, bro. You know how many Washington people were excited in Washington about that D line being solidified, and it was the same thing with the Giants. They had Tibbs, Dexter Lawrence, Leonard. Now Leonard's gone. They can't get rid of Dexter Lawrence because that guy is like such a valuable asset to have on the team. Like I don't know. It kind of bothers me, but I mean, now I'll say this: 49ers, if y'all don't go to the Super Bowl, I mean, it's such a waste of a season and poor GMing by John Lynch, and we're gonna definitely go after him on this podcast if they don't win a Super Bowl within the next 2 years.
I mean, I don't know what to expect. We can go a little bit about. We can transition real quick, pivot into that game because just about the trade deadline, the biggest thing that stood out to me was the Vikings getting a little bit of help with Josh Dobbs getting traded.
I don't. Do you like that?
I'm not saying he's coming into saving the team. I'm just saying that he's going to salvage their team way better than they would with a backup quarterback.
What did you see in Josh Dobbs? Like, what did you see in him? What makes you think he's a good quarterback?
Quarterbacks that they had on their roster right now. What are you talking about? I feel like he's very more sustainable. He's played in big games this year, beat the Cowboys, played phenomenal. You know, barring
he did not play phenomenal. That defense held the Cowboys.
Played phenomenal, but offensively, okay, let's do this. Since you want to come at the Cardinals, we're going to leave the defense.
No, I'm coming at Josh Dobbs. I'm not coming at the Cardinals.
Cardinals offensive side of the ball. I don't know who that offensive coordinator is. I'm not. But I'm telling you what Kevin O'Connell can do.
No, but straight up, I'm not coming after the Cardinals offense. I'm coming after strictly Josh Dobbs. And I did not see anything from Josh Dobbs.
Better than Nate Mullins. I don't even know the other two quarterbacks' names that the Vikings had on their roster.
Didn't they draft who's the young dude they drafted out of college?
They didn't draft anybody.
Okay.
That's what they did. They did. They already let him go. They got some no-name quarterbacks back there. They traded away Ezra Cleveland today. I didn't understand that. One of the better guards that they had on the offensive line. But I'm just saying, all in all, I think they did a good job of just making their rest of their season look respectable after losing Kirk Cousins. I mean, yeah, the 49ers, we could talk about that. Montez Sweat to the Bears, that doesn't really change much. The Bears need to figure out what they're going to do with their quarterbacks, need to figure out what they're going to do with their whole coaching staff. But pivoting to the
Before we pivot, I just want to say I like it when dudes prove me wrong. I like being proven wrong, and I hope Josh Dobbs proves me wrong and he goes to Minnesota, and I hope he balls out. I'm just saying I haven't seen nothing from him that makes me think he's good. But I also just want to say the Cardinals offense, I actually think is pretty good. Like, I think Marquise Brown played well. I think James Conner played well when he was healthy. So I wasn't coming after the offense. I was coming after Dobbs. And I hope he proves me wrong.
I wasn't coming at their offense or their playmakers. I was coming at the coaching on the offensive side was very methodical. Kevin O'Connell got hired to change the Vikings' whole offense. If you don't remember, they went from Mike Zimmer to Kevin O'Connell. And he's done a phenomenal job using the playmakers. I'm saying Josh Dobbs is the right dude right now if you're going to salvage the season with Justin Jefferson coming back off of injury, Jordan Addison emerging right now, and TJ Hockenson, top 4 tight end in the league. Let's not be remorsed about what the weapons they got on that side. Yeah. If you play that with Nate Mullins for the rest of the league, that's freaking handicap. That's worse than your handicap 18-hole course in golf. Let's not even talk about that. So let's pivot on.
I see your point. No, I see your point. 100%. I see your point.
Back to the 49ers and always the matter at hand. I love what Shannon Sharp said. I love what Keyshawn said. Let's see what Brock Purdy can do when they got to play from behind, and they played a great offense in the Cincinnati Bengals. They went in there, and the score didn't really represent it, but they shellacked. They shellacked the 49ers this week. The Bengals won the shellacking award. It's not about the score to me. It's about kind of just the whole dominance of the game from start to finish, and they beat up the 49ers. They really were like the bullies, came in there, no Trent Williams, no Debo. CDC still getting his CMC still getting his anytime touchdown. That's probably the best bet out there right now in any FanDuel DraftKings. This is not financial advice. I'm just saying CDM, doing his thing. But Brock Purdy, 2 interceptions.
CMC, bro. It's CMC.
Brock Purdy, 2 interceptions this past week. doesn't look great. Brandon Ayuk's the only thing really saving. George Kittle, where is he at? You know, you can find George Kittle when they're playing good, but when they're playing bad, their offense looks like shit. Kyle Shanahan is trying to figure out things. Debo being hurt is actually messing a lot of things up in their offense. Not because, let's say, he's going to get 100 yards per game, but he helps out with the shifting and the motions and the disguise of the offensive weapon. And so they know they're one dimensional in the backfield with CMC. They know that they're one dimensional in the pass game with Brandon Ayuk. 49ers defense looks terrible, as Reese told me as well. They've done a terrible job in their DBs, like their corners are bad. So I take away from this that the 49ers are trending on a downward slope, and Cincinnati is trending on an upward slope. They're playing better than they started. Joe Burrow's calf injury looks a lot better, looks more healthy. Jamar Chase does what he does. T. Higgins looking full cylinder. And one thing I will say, we don't give Cincinnati's defense credit. Their defense is a little bit better than what I even expected. I'm not rooting for them. Obviously, I'm a Steelers fan, but Cincinnati is dangerous. If this team continues to start to warm up, they will be a team that can go far in the playoffs.
Yeah, I was saying the Bengals defense. I was talking about them 2 weeks ago. And the part of this segment, it was are the 49ers falling off or are the Bengals all the way back? And I'm going to talk about how the Bengals are all the way back because Joe Burrow was slanging that thing. He was doing his thing yesterday. He was breaking out. He was dodging, ducking, weaving. Nobody could get a hand on him. And Jamar Chase had 100 yards. Joe Mixon had 87 yards. Like that, when that offense is going to be rolling like that, they can beat anybody. Joe Burrow is all the way back. He looks healthy, so that's huge. And that offensive line holds things together. I think the Bengals are back, and I picked them to be in the Super Bowl this year. Joe Burrow, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, almost 300 yards, 287, 28 for 32. I mean, that's an incredible stat. So, yeah, I mean, I think that the Bengals are all the way back. And I am not going to just write out the 49ers. I still see actually Purdy, the mistakes that he makes. I just feel like those are mistakes that rookies make, guys, first, second year guy. Still, for his second year, he is way better than a lot of guys on their second year of playing football. So I don't really think I don't think the ship has sailed or anything for the 49ers. I think they're going to be okay. They're going to get healthy, and they're going to be dominant now with Chase Young. Like, Chase Young, to me, is so good. Like, I mean, him and Montez Sweat and Jonathan Allen were about to wreak havoc. They almost beat Philadelphia. Like, they were beating Philadelphia for most of that game. Philadelphia came back, which was fantastic for Philadelphia. They showed some things that you wanted to see if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan. So shout out to them. Good on Philly. But the Washington Commanders, who have a much worse roster, a much worse quarterback, they almost won that game. Dotson was balling out. So it's like the Washington Commanders, I'm not going to talk about that trade. But now that the 49ers got Chase Young, 49ers are going to be okay. And hey, that might be the Super Bowl. So we'll see.
Yeah, man. I agree with you. I think the Bengals are looking pretty good, and I don't know. I just want to see more better play out of Brock Purdy to say that the 49ers are going to go deep into the playoffs, let alone win that conference. I mean, yes, they have a great defense, but their defense has proven that they can be beat by a subpar Vikings team that didn't have a great defense. And yes, you're missing Debo Samuels, but hey, for you guys to be that dominant, you got to show better. And they've lost 3 straight, man, and they got to get it together. I don't know if they're on a bye this week, but yeah, man, it's not looking too good for him. I
Think
want
it'll
to
be
go
okay.
and pivot to the next segment, man, and talk about the Battle of NYC. What a performance by Zach Wilson, man. 240 yards and a touchdown on Sunday in the MetLife. Giants were represented as the home team. Jets come back and win in overtime off of a field goal, man. What do you got to say? I told you earlier, man. Jets are starting to build up a story here. 4-3, halfway mark almost in the NFL. Aaron's getting healthier. There's stories out that if the Jets make it and sneak into that wild card, say they win that first game, he'll be back for that divisional playoff game.
Yeah, well, Giants should have won that game. Shout out to Graham Gano. I think it's time to hang up the cleats, buddy. Uh, you know, missing field goals is not gonna keep you around much longer. Saquon had 128 yards, good on him. And Tyrod got hurt, and then DeVito came in for the Giants. That was, I mean, all they could do was run the ball. That's one that the Jets should have won. They squeaked it out. Yeah, the Jets gonna be able to salvage wins, and then Rodgers will come back and take them to the Super Bowl. That fairy tale ending that everybody wants to see. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think even if Rodgers comes back, like it takes you got to get accumulated to the offense. It's already week 8. If he's coming back like week 14, like I don't know, like I mean that's just going to be so close to the playoffs. I don't think it's going to be like that type of fairy tale ending. Good, but good for Zach Wilson. Good for the Jets. Good for their defense. I mean, the bright side for the Giants. Thibodeau looks really, really good. I mean, defensive player of the year is going to be it's going to be a good lineup of the top 5 guys. And I think Thibodeau will be in there. But yeah, I mean, back to the Jets. I just think that, I don't think they're going to go I don't think they're going to have like playoff wins, stuff like that. I think they got Miami in the division. I don't even know if I don't know if they're gonna be fighting for that wild card spot. If they go to the wild card, I don't think they're gonna win that first game. I mean, what do you want me to say? Like, it's nothing crazy. They put up 13 points. Brees Hall is.
Man, you're a New York native. You live in New York. You watch these guys a lot. The people of New York think this was a battle of a big game for the city. The Jets won it. They hold the bragging rights for the next couple years. I mean, I just think that we need to give a little bit of the credit of Zach Wilson and how he's just handled this situation. Yes, he's not looked great at times. He's looked good at times. But, hey, they're up in the win column. The dude's above 500. We wrote them off 3 plays into the first game of the season on Monday night. And the Jets are 4-3, second tied for second in the division right now. Like,
let's just look ahead.
Okay,
Next week they got the Chargers. Then they got the Raiders. Then they got the Bills. Then they got the Dolphins, Falcons, Texans, Dolphins again, Commanders, Browns, Patriots. How many of those games do you think they win?
Patriots, Browns, Patriots, Texans, Raiders. Who else did you say that's not in
Okay, they got Chargers next week.
Yep.
They win? You calling that a dub?
That's a tough game. I'll say defense shows up. Yes. If their defense
Raiders?
Yes, they'll win.
Bills.
Where is it at?
Yo. All right, it's at Buffalo.
Oh, this is the rematch. No, they don't.
Dolphins.
No.
In New York.
No.
Falcons.
Yes.
Texans.
Yes.
Dolphins.
They got to find a way to split with the Dolphins.
Wow. I'm surprised.
But I don't think they will. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they will.
You are high on the Jets, my friend.
They won't. They'll get swept. They'll get swept by the Dolphins.
Commanders?
They'll win for sure now. They'll definitely win that.
Okay. Browns?
Yes.
Patriots?
Yes.
They're beating the Browns.
Yeah, bro. Deshaun Watson is kind of almost on the verge of being out for the season. I'm just being honest.
Browns because of
his shoulder. Like, he's dealing with the same thing Cam Newton's dealing with. And so it's just being told. They're milking it to make it be like 4 weeks, but it could be longer than that. The Browns are a great team, but until Deshaun Watson gets back into high form, even if he comes back, like he's had games where he looked shit, he looked great. We don't know. So I definitely think the Jets trying to fight to get a potential wild card spot for sure.
All right.
They're third in their division by default because they don't have their quarterback. They
okay.
Deals for sure. Now, are they Dolphins? No.
All right, I'm going to say they're losing to the Chargers. They're beating the Raiders. They're losing to the Bills. They're losing to the Dolphins. They're hey, Falcons got a good
They're gonna
defense.
win five out of those 8 games. So they're gonna
I'm
lose
saying, all right. You got your turn. Let me have my turn.
four, four, four.
Falcons. Let me go my turn. Falcons. That's gonna be tight. I'll say they win it. Texans. They're not winning. Falcons and Texans. Texans are good this year. I'm gonna say they're losing to the Texans. They're beating the Falcons. Dolphins. They're losing. Commanders. They're beating. I guess because of everything recently. Browns. I'm saying they're losing. Patriots. They'll win that one. So I got them. I got them closer to splitting even, and you got them more of having winning out. But I mean, I only got them beating 1, 2, 3, 4. I only got them winning 4 more games for the rest of the year. That's gonna put them at 8 and 9.
Well, that's why it's two different opinions on the show. That's what makes the show great, man. And to pivot to the next segment, you mentioned the Atlanta Falcons. They went into Nashville, Tennessee, and they played the Tennessee Titans, who had the quarterback making his first start, Will Levis. I believe it was his first start, correct?
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, I like it when guys prove me wrong because I
Let me
talk a
finish.
lot of shit.
Yes, let me finish with the stat line of Will Levis, and I'll let you say. 19 for 29, 238 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 sacks, had a completion rate of over 60%, and he had a QBR of 130.5. Man, Derrick Henry, 22 carries, 101 yards. D Hop had 4 catches for 128 yards and 3 touchdowns. So you do the math. For every catch he had a touchdown set for one. Will Levis, is he the guy or not? Now you can continue.
Yes, he is the guy. And I like it when guys prove me wrong. Like we talk a lot of ish on this show, and we talked a lot of ish about Will Levis. And I mean, I was saying like he was like a worse Jay Cutler. I didn't think he had that dog in him, but I mean, with that offense, he is going to be he has the potential to be really good because I think anybody that can use the the mystery of are we going to hand the ball off to Derrick Henry and run it down and just like destroy you, or am I going to hit that play action deep ball for 100 yards to D Hop, which is exactly what they wanted D Hop to do. They're doing so. Will Levis, it's the perfect fit. And I think all that stuff that you've been seeing about a lot of stuff about Mike Vrabel being like not personally liking him, I think that's all just the media talking a lot of gossip and BS. That's like perspective that you don't even really know what's going on. So like I think the media just likes to make up, messed up stories. But shout out to Will Levis, and also a cool story about Will Levis. Right before that game, his girlfriend broke up with him and he didn't even know he was going to be playing. Malik is injured. He comes in, he balls out, and I'm just saying, like, yo, good for you, bro, because your girl just broke up with you. You know he had to be hurting before that game, and then he goes out there and he throws for 4 touchdowns. That's a really happy
You
story.
think
So
she
shout
called him
out to
back?
you.
Think she called him back after that or what?
Probably, you know how some girls be like blowing them up and whatnot. I mean people be like that. So
Hey, they be like that. They be,
yeah, I mean like they see you up, they be hitting you back.
broke. All right, I feel you. On to another game, man. We weren't, but we did cover this game. It was just like the weather was this morning today. I woke up and I thought I was in a snow globe. And then Sunday in Denver, Colorado, it was the same thing. The Denver Broncos got the snow off the field with their grounds crew, and then they beat the living shit out of the Kansas City Chiefs, 24-9. Patrick Mahomes, 24 for 38. They said this was his flu game. Said he was battling some symptoms the night before. 24 for 38, 241 yards. He had a QB rating of 59.2, 2 interceptions. Isaiah Pacheco led in carries with 8 carries for 40 yards. Travis Kelce led in catches and yards, 6 catches for 58 yards. Nobody after that had over 60 yards after even Kelsey. Rasheed Rice had 4 for 56. I said a couple weeks ago I thought he would be the guy that's emerging, but I think there's a serious problem going on in Kansas City. We always got to find a way to rattle the cage with the Chiefs. they always find a way to make it. But I truly think this year will be the toughest year for them to get to the Super Bowl because teams like the Broncos played them tough 2 weeks ago and almost won in Arrowhead and actually won at home this week. Found ways to slow down Travis Kelce, make them become a one-dimensional team, no rushing game, and they have a problem if 87 doesn't get the ball. They have a serious problem. No Eric Bieniemy for one, calling plays. That's why things will be a lot different this year. And two, you do not have a solidified number two weapon in the passing game. What's going on, Parlay?
Well, man, I love. I mean, this is my thing with the Chiefs. I love to bet on them when they're underdogs, and right now things are getting. You know what I mean? It's like when everyone's down on them, when everyone's saying they're out. That's when you got to start getting high on them and picking them because the spreads are going to start leaning your way in your favor. So if you see value in the Chiefs, again, this is not financial advice, but look for value in the Chiefs. Mahomes is that guy. Mahomes is a legend. Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL by far. It's not even close. He is that guy. So when you got Patrick Mahomes, you can beat anybody, period. But that was a smack in the face for the Chiefs. And it's good. It's good to eat some humble pie every now and then. And I mean, bro, these guys are 6-2. Like, it's not like the end is near at all for the Chiefs. And they still got that guy, Travis Kelce, arguably the greatest tight end of all time. And the Chris Jones on the defense is a dog. So shout out to the Broncos getting that dub. They needed that. That's a for the Broncos. That is a franchise culture changing moment for them for the rest of the season. I don't know about if it's carry on to next season and whatnot, if it's that big of a deal. But for right now, if you're playing for Denver, you got to be feeling really good. So shout out to the guys that got the interceptions over on that defense. Shout out to them for doing their thing. And the defense has actually been sneaky good all year. So shout out to Denver on that. Russell Wilson, only 115 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. They ran the ball with Javonte Williams a lot, 85 yards. I think that's big for them. So we probably going to start seeing more of that. Javonte Williams, 100-yard games, close to
I,
100-yard games.
yeah, the Broncos are they're figuring it out. They're starting to figure it out. I don't think this year,
Sort of.
but I think one thing I will say about the Broncos, what they did good as a staff, they took care of the problem finding their coach. Sean Payton, I think, is their coach. Number
Oh,
two,
yeah.
they're getting Russ to play better. So what they're going to end up doing is salvaging his contract because they gave him a lot of money. There's no reason to get rid of Russ. This is year 2 of the operation. I think next year Russ puts it together and they get to the playoffs. Now they got to do some work in the offseason, getting some players in free agency and drafting correctly. But they're figuring it out right now, even halfway part of the year. I don't think they make the playoffs because I don't think 2 teams come out of that division. The Chargers maybe, but the Broncos it will be hard. Their defense is some crap. I'm just still gonna stand on the point of you allowing 70 points in an NFL game. It's terrible, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think better. They'll be better for it, but I think Russ is starting to figure it out. I think he's less nervous now. To play a game in the middle of the year, October, it's snowy game. Like we don't expect that to the end of November, even into December. Like that shows some guts for them to win in them elements like that and play good defense. So yeah, kudos to the Broncos, man. Chiefs,
Still want to.
go ahead.
I just still want to see a big game from Jerry Jeudy.
I mean, I think he's building for it. I just think that it's tough, man. I mean, Sean Payton's a balanced coach. It's not like they're gonna go throw the ball 40 times if they don't have to. Like Jerry Jeudy may be time for him to go or find some trade value. He did make a couple plays, had a touchdown. Cortland Sutton obviously is there more of their number one guy who Russ looks to get the ball to. So I don't know. We'll see. I just think that they're building for the future, and it's a great way to build on this season. I just don't think they'll make it. To pivot to the NFC North, first game we'll talk about the NFC North. This has more of a contention off the field than it did Sunday. Vikings went into Green Bay and won 24-10, beat their rival. but it was bittersweet. They lost their quarterback for the year. Kirk Cousins out with a torn Achilles heel, as we know. KJ Osborne led in receiving, 8 for 99 yards. TJ Hawkins, 6 for 88, and Jordan Addison, 7 for 82. Now the receivers have been balling out since Jefferson has stepped out. Imagine what Jefferson does with 100 yards with what those three guys did. Kirk Cousins stays healthy. Vikings has a very explosive offense. Not to mention Brandon Powell has played good. Cam Akers has rejuvenated the rushing offense and in helping with Alexander Madison. I don't know what the Vikings are going to look like. I don't really want to talk about Green Bay. I think they're in a serious rebuilding. You get Green Bay 1 week.
Dre froze. Dre is frozen. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on with Dre's camera. He's frozen. Yo.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just saying I don't know what to say about Jordan Love. Anyways, what's your take on Kirk Cousins' injury? Are the Vikings making the playoffs?
Man, I don't think they're making the playoffs with Kirk Cousins out, ACL, whatnot. But that is a nice surprise.
Not
what?
ACL. Torn Achilles, not ACL.
Right, Achilles. So I think that Detroit still is going to, win that division, and I don't see the Vikings. Yeah, I don't see them going to the playoffs or anything like that. But yeah, I think that I think the big news is Josh Dobbs. Will he be able to salvage that offense? I don't think so. I think that the Vikings, I just think that it's going to be, they have a lot to look forward to. Like, because Kirk Cousins will get healthy. They'll probably have some good draft picks. Like, I do think that they have, like, next year, they'll be right back to where they were last year, fighting for a spot in the playoffs. So, I think what we noticed from the Vikings with Addison and everything, I think Justin Jefferson will come back and ball out still because that's, I think that he's a dog like that. So there's a lot of positives to be looking forward to in the future with the Vikings. But I think everybody kind of knew that the Lions were going to win the division. And, right now, this is probably the Lions' year out of that division.
Yeah. To pivot on to that game, man, last big news we have of the week 8. I'm not going to go and talk about the Jaguars. Fuck them. The Lions Monday night, Detroit last night beat the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, 26-4.
Wait. The Jags are going to go to the Super Bowl is what I was saying last week. And shout out to the Jags getting that dub out over the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's not, you can say fuck them, but from over on this side, we're rocking with Jacksonville. We're rocking with Trevor Lawrence. Shout out to them. They're playing phenomenal. And go and take the AFC, guys.
Playing phenomenal, huh?
Mm-hmm.
He did have a pretty good game, 24-32.
Travis Etienne is balling.
292 yards.
Christian Kirk is balling.
79 yards. Calvin really had a good game. That helped me out in fantasy, 6 for 83. Kenny Pickett got hurt. Trubisky threw 2 interceptions. You get flashes with Trubisky, and I've always known this for years now. So for me, it's not that I don't expect him to, throw for 300 yards and win us 8,000 games, but I expect better. We have some serious problems in our backfield. I don't know. I felt like maybe we were going to ship Najee Harris midseason, but we're more loyal to our players. Mike Tomlin, is hard for him to do that, but I don't expect Najee to be there next year. I would say I'm 40% on that right now. It might even grow the more he, just continues to disappoint. Our O-line has to get better, but I think we can find value in trading Najee. Our biggest problem, we don't have quarterback play. We don't have offense. We don't have any DBs. Our front seven is phenomenal. Always will be. Yeah.
All right, let's have some fun. Let's have some fun real quick. The Steelers are 4-3.
Yep.
Let's go through the rest of the schedule real quick. Dubs or L's. All right, next week.
We win on Thursday. We do better. We destroy rookie quarterbacks. We're winning the next 2 games for sure.
Okay, Packers are beating Browns at Cleveland.
It's gonna be a tough one, depending on who's starting. If
Hey, you just said Deshaun Watson is a bum.
I didn't say he was a bum, I just said his injury, he's a shoulder. He has the same injury as Cam Newton. But
So
I'll
you
take.
gonna win that game?
We'll sweep the Browns. Yep. We
Okay.
lose to the
Okay.
Bengals. We lose to the Bengals. We lose to the
Okay. 3-1 Cardinals.
beat the Cardinals. Beat the
You gonna
Patriots.
do that to Nikki? All
Beat
right.
the Cardinals. Beat the. They don't have no quarterback. Beat the
All
Cardinals.
right.
Patriots.
Hold on, I can't keep up. All right, you're 6-1 so far. All right, you're going.
Start to make our run.
You're going to Colts. You're going to Indianapolis.
Beating them.
All right. Bengals.
Beating them. We're splitting.
Okay, you're 7-1. Seahawks.
We lose the last two.
Okay, so 3. So you're winning. You're losing 3 games out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So yeah, we're right where I said we were gonna be. 11-6.
So you're gonna go 7-3.
We're gonna go 11-6.
11-6.
Exactly.
Okay, so you don't have nothing to be worried about.
No, we'll be the last seed in the one of the two last.
6. That's a good record, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Mike Tomlin is not going to go under 500, and these games are reasonable. We're at home Thursday night. I'll probably be shit-faced drunk. We have to beat that team behind your TV screen.
Why are you getting shit-faced drunk?
That dude right there, you see that dude right behind you? Yeah, we're gonna yeah. You see what they're look at that. Look at how quick they're previewing the game we're talking about. We're gonna win at home on Thursday. Just know that.
All right. You heard it here first. 11-6.
Now, I don't know until Mike Tomlin says optimistic on Kenny Pickett's injury. He doesn't play. We're gonna run the ball a lot, slow the game down. Trubisky takes some chances when he has to. Our receiving core still slept on. George Pickens, whatever Reese wants to say. Anytime George Pickens has the ball, like seriously, you've seen him though. You be real. George Pickens is.
What did Reese say? What did Reese, fellow friend of the show, say?
Is overrated, but when George Pickens has the ball, he does something special with it. Did you not see his touchdown this week?
Pickens is a dog. Period.
Yeah, like did you not see his touchdown? Like he hurdled 2 dudes, made them fall and everything, bro. Like stupid. Right. Yeah, whatever, bro. Like yeah. We're going to be good. We're going to be okay. On to the rapid fire picks of the week. Week 9 ahead. Let's get to them, man.
Okay. Pittsburgh and Tennessee. You already called that. You said Pitt. You think
best bet of the week is Pittsburgh money line. Trust me.
All right.
At Chiefs, this is a tough.
Wait. Hold up. Pittsburgh -3. I'm taking the -3 Pittsburgh.
Yes. Dolphins, Chiefs.
This is in Germany.
This is in Germany. You got to wake up early to watch this. 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central Time. Shit, you got to wake up at 6:30 if you're on the West Coast. I like the Dolphins. I just like the Dolphins.
Yeah, Kansas City is favored. This is one of them games.
Go ahead.
This is one of them games. I'm gonna go with. I'll take the points with Miami +2.5.
Plus, give me the plus the points with Miami just because it's not in Arrowhead. Arrowhead. If it was in Arrowhead, I'd lean to Kansas City.
Yeah.
Vikings, the Falcons. No Kirk Cousins. It's a -5. I wonder if I don't think Jefferson is going to come back, so I will go Falcons. I will go. The better bet, yeah, I'll go Falcons. I'll go Falcons money line.
I'll take the under. I know it's a low under, but I mean you got a backup quarterback in the Vikings. Dobbs isn't playing. It's I think Nick Mullins or whoever the other backup is. He's playing for the Vikings, and Atlanta defense is pretty good. I don't trust Desmond Ridder. So I would either take Atlanta or the under.
There's a very low under. I'm a
little
very under.
Yeah, a little uneasy about it.
Cardinals going to the Browns. I think I'm gonna roll with no Deshaun this week. I'm rolling with Nick and them, bro. +8. I'm rolling with Nick and them, bro.
Yeah, I mean if PJ Walker's playing, I'll take the 8.
+8, bro. They're disrespecting the Cardinals a lot lately.
Yeah.
And they kept bro, they kept the game into 7 last week. Wasn't it
Yeah.
8 last week too with the
If
Ravens?
if they would have got the 2-point conversion, see, that was where Dobbs messed up. He threw a slant 5 yards away from the end zone on the 2-point conversion. You got to throw it in the end zone, bro. It's like the game is on the line.
Yeah,
You don't throw it
yeah.
5 yards away from the end zone. So it's like, yeah, I mean,
I like,
Cardinals could have came.
the Cardinals. I like the Cardinals plus 8 here. I really do. I think Nick's going to
Me
Cleveland.
too.
I think Nick's going to drop a. He can beat PJ Walker. Nick can beat PJ Walker. Rams at Packers.
Yeah.
Rams at Packers. You got
What's the spread?
Green Bay -3. No Matthew Stafford. I don't believe either though.
Yeah, I don't trust Jordan Love. Man, that's a tough one.
No,
39.5.
if no Matthew Stafford, I'd take the under here and I'd buy at a 1.5. I'd go under 41.5.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd take the under.
I just don't know. No Stafford, I don't know.
Yeah.
Stafford plays. I'm going with the Rams plus the points.
Yeah.
Commanders at Patriots. The newly Commanders team, no D line. Patriots at home. I'll lay the points with the Patriots. -3. Over unders 40. I think Bill Belichick can scheme up a good defensive game against Sam Howell. He's been playing very subpar. We thought we'd see better, expected a lot better from him.
I'll take the over on this. 40. We've seen some glimpses of Mac Jones. I know Kendrick Bourne, he just got injured. He's out for the year, but they've been doing their thing with Ramon Stevenson and Zeke Elliott. So the offense with New England's been getting better. We saw a good showing of offense from the Commanders last week. I would take the low number of 40. I'd take the over on that.
Alrighty. Bears at Saints. Saints with a must-win last week in Indy. Haven't got a report from my dog B-Man about that game, but I don't know if I want to lay a -7.5 with them, but I will tease this game down maybe to -3.5. I'm just not that confident in their offense. Bears backup quarterback is still playing, and he showed that he was what he was last week in LA versus the Chargers. They got blew out. I like the Saints here, teasing this down to a -3.5.
I'll lay the 7.5. The Bears are trash. The Saints showed some good offense last week, so I'll lay the 7.5.
Seahawks at Ravens. This is a great game. This might even be one of the game of the week. I do like Baltimore to bounce back offensively. I think Lamar had a quiet game after having one of his better games of his career the week before. They are at home. Seahawks defense is for real. Like I said, Jamal Adams, shout out to Jamal Adams. I'm glad he's playing in high gear. Flashes of Jamal Adams with the Jets. I love the two corners they got, Witherspoon and what's our other boy's name? Uh, Forgot his name, but Tariq or something. The two corners. Then you got Adams, you got Quandre Diggs. Gino played pretty good last game. I think this is going to be a battle. I don't think teams can run the ball here good, so I do think you'll see some points. It's a kind of a high over for these two teams, but I'd go over. I'd go over 43.
I'll tease the Baltimore spread down to 3 or 2.5. I think 5.5 is kind of a lot for how good Seattle's been on offense with Walker playing really well. Gino's all right. Lockett's playing really well. Jackson Smith is playing well. Metcalf is fine. So, yeah, I just think that's like, I would just tease it down because Baltimore people are starting to say, oh, Baltimore's going to the Super Bowl. They're that good. Lamar's MVP. He's that good, which might be true. But I still think that Seattle's just a good enough team to keep it close. So I tease that down to 3 or 2.5.
Bucks at Texans. I think this is a must-win for the Bucks. They got to get back on the game. Good foot.
Yeah.
Some bad L's here lately. I think back to back. They're going in here to Texas 3-4. Texans are looking pretty good, even though they just took a loss to the Panthers last week, 1-2. Bryce Young versus C.J. Stroud. I like the Bucks here, plus 2.5, but I like the over better here as well, over 40. It's kind of weird. Yo,
What's that?
you're good. Your screen
Yeah.
kind of frozen there. I'm not gonna lie, bro. A very paused moment. There was a glizzy behind your head,
Oh man.
dog, on your TV, bro. Oh yeah, that was bad. That was good for the ratings, but yeah,
Oh man.
it's bad, man.
All right. All right. So now I can't stop thinking about a glizzy on the side of my head when I'm talking. But yeah. Uh, I am going to take
Oh,
Houston minus. I'm not. I'm gonna say this is kind of weird because now it's like we're seeing a shift. It's week 8. We're seeing a shift in teams and whatnot. I agree with you. It is a must win for the Buccaneers. And if they, it's like now if they lose this game, their season is going way downhill. But I'm gonna ride with the books here. I'm gonna take Houston minus 2.5 because I just think it's a shift. And right now, I know Houston just lost as well, but they're at home. And I think that we're starting to see the Bucks fall off. And I hope they prove me wrong here, but I would take Houston minus 2.5.
okay. Well, I said I like the Bucks plus 2.5 here.
Yeah, we
Colts,
heard you. We
Colts.
heard you.
Okay, Colts at
You
Panthers.
want to put a little something on this?
I mean, what you want to
You,
like? I'm
you want
still.
to put a case on it?
We can put a case of Hennessy on it, bro. I'm still due my Hennessy bottle from the last one. I think I won that one. We might have to go back and watch
What
that.
was the bet? I can't remember what the bet
Can't remember.
was.
We got to go figure it out. I think I'm due some Hennessy White, man. But anyways,
All right, let's get it.
all right, we'll put a
The bet.
bottle. We'll put a
But one of them mini bottles, one of them $3.99
yeah,
bottles.
yeah, bottle of one of many Hennessy's on this Bucks game. I like the Bucks plus the points. He likes Houston plus the points. Our
Nice.
Colts at Panthers. Um, this is interesting. Panthers getting their first win last week. Bryce Young looked pretty good. They needed that just to say they won for the year. They're still in the rebuilding form. Coach Gardner Minshew has been playing good. To me, he's doing he's to me Gardner Minshew's top 3 backup quarterback in the league. He comes in, performs better than expected, gets the team going. I do like the Colts to win here. I think they've taken some hard L's lately. Um, I think that they win here. I think this is a game, if Jonathan Taylor is healthy, that he can go crazy. So I like the Colts here.
Yeah, I like Colts minus 2.5. I agree with everything you just said, and I'll reiterate: Carolina has the worst supporting cast around Bryce Young.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, barring Adam Thielen has had a resurrection year for how old he is. He's been playing good. He's very
Oh yeah,
taking some years off the clock, and he's been
they
playing.
should have traded that corner, who's good,
Who
but
Jason
also
Horner?
yeah, but also like I just mean compared to the other 31 teams. That's just in comparison. I think
But
that.
some, you know what? It's not even that it's their record. Them and the Cardinals are the worst 2 teams in the league, but by record. But both of these teams have fought in games, rather than the Raiders with Devontae Adams. And we didn't even get to that story, but to speak a little bit about that, I've never seen Devontae Adams in his career be as frustrated as he is now. And I don't know, man. That's the next game we're going to talk about here. Giants at the Raiders. I thought that the Raiders would ship Devontae Adams, just decency respect the guy that's going to go into the Hall of Fame and get him on a team that can contend for a Super Bowl, let alone or just ship him back to Green Bay where he started his career. Let him finish his career out there. But to have him on the Raiders when Jimmy G obviously is not the quarterback for him or for their fucking team, period. Like Jimmy G is not a quarterback that can he is a system quarterback. And the Raiders are not a system offense. They have they're like the Raiders is equivalent, and we'll get to this a little bit, as the Los Angeles Clippers now going to get James Harden. By the way, NBA news, James Harden going to the Clippers. It's crazy to me. They got a bunch of old guys that were NBA stars, NBA MVPs to pretty much Kawhi, Paul George, Russ, and now James. But if you look at they have a lot of playmaker players. It's not a system offense. You have Josh Jacobs in the backfield. Then you have Devontae Adams, a receiver. Jimmy G, obviously last night, bro, missed him on a couple plays, man. And it's like he's frustrated. And so going into week 9, the Giants. I don't even know why the Raiders are getting the points here. I like the Giants plus 2.5, easy.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think that the Giants, like DeVito, I don't know if Tyrod's going to be playing or if DeVito's going to be playing, but especially if Tyrod's playing, I'll take the Giants. If DeVito's playing, I'll go with the Raiders. But it's really depends on if Tyrod's playing or if Daniel Jones is playing.
Well,
I'll go with the Giants.
Jones getting back in there, huh?
If he comes back, I'll take the Giants. If Tyrod plays, I'll take the Giants. If DeVito plays, I'll take the Raiders just because they weren't running anything with DeVito. They were acting like he doesn't know any of the plays or something.
Well, he'll have a week to prepare right now, so I'm still rolling with the Giants. I'm with Bubba Dub with the Raiders. They're trash, bro. I mean, they've looked the worst, and they have a 3-5 record. Outside of Max Crosby being a top 5 pass rusher in the league, yeah, they're terrible. I don't know. Cowboys at Eagles. It's gonna be interesting. This is probably gonna be the marquee game of the week, of course. Um, I like the Eagles. I think the Eagles sweep them. I just think for the Cowboys to win, and now what the Eagles have done, going to get Kevin Bird in the back end at safety. Now he'll have a couple weeks of practice under his belt. Then I think he'll make his debut this week, and they're at home. Jalen Hurts is playing better. AJ Brown is a fucking dog. He's been balling out 6 straight games with over 120 yards. I don't know. I don't see how the Cowboys are going to win. Their rushing offense is bad. Um, Passing wise, they're still not. They go one game, get Brandon Cooks involved. The next game, you can't find him. CeeDee Lamb had a great game, but it was the Rams, 43-20. Michael Parsons does what Michael Parsons does, but this is the Eagles. They're going to slow the game down. This is a game where you'll see a lot of carries from DeAndre Swift, Jalen Hurts. They'll probably do the quarterback sneak 10 times easily, legitly, and they'll win the game. They'll find a way to win. The way this game goes in the Cowboys' favor, they have to make this a shootout. They're not going to slow the Eagles down. The Eagles will set the pace always, and it's at the Lincoln. So I'm going to roll with the Eagles here.
Yeah, like you said, the Eagles always set the pace, and they have done that all year, and I think that they do it again in this game. Only way I could look at it is Eagles -3. I stay away from over-unders with the Eagles because of the fact that they set the pace. They can control the ball, and they basically decide that by themselves. So it's not really – it always seems to be pretty one-sided on that. So I look at the Philly Eagles -3.
Bills at Bengals. This is the rematch of a very emotional, very heartful game. Last year,
The coin toss.
Damar Hamlin had collapsed and was.
Oh, that one. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes, not the coin toss. More serious than the coin toss there, Parlay. Damar Hamlin was on the ground dead for about.
Listen, I wasn't. Don't
No,
make me
the
have to
Bills.
look like a bad guy. All right, I just forgot.
Hey,
What game you were talking about here. I thought you were talking about the game from a year ago.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm just telling you, I'm not gonna be no.
You're trying to villainize me, bro.
Hey, I'm not gonna be no snitch, but I know where you live, and you're a lot closer to Buffalo than I am. So they'll come knocking on your
Yo. Shout out to Damar Hamlin. I am happy that you are alive and well, my guy. God bless.
Yeah, so Bills at Bengals. This is gonna be an interesting game. We always would shoot for the over here, but something is telling me this game will go under. And as well, I do like uh I do like Joe Mixon to have a good game here. No Matt Milano in the middle. The Buffalo's defense has been kind of suspect in that regards. They normally are not at their linebacker position, but they traded away Edmonds, no Matt Milano for the rest of the year. I think Joe Mixon can have a good game running. Von Miller should have a better game this week. Their rushing should get better. If they implement Rasul Douglas right away, they got the two safeties back there, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. I don't know if this game goes over 48.5, but I think this should be an interesting game. Cincinnati's defense is a lot better. They will cause problems for Buffalo. I will agree with you. I don't know what happened. Stefan's been cooking as normal, but Gabe Davis, I do not know what happened. So, uh, yeah, I think this goes under 48.5.
I'll take the over 48.5 because I think this game is going to it's going to actually bring the best out of Burrow, who we've seen recently ball out. I think it's going to bring the best out of Josh Allen, who I think has actually been playing a phenomenal season. Dalton Kincaid got involved last week. He was balling out. That might be a superstar in the making. I think that both of these I think it goes over 48.5, not by a lot because it's already a high over, but I just think that 48.5, I think it gets to like 55 because I just think that this game brings out the best of these offenses. Normally, though, I'd stay away from this game just because you don't really know what's going to happen with these two teams. The defenses are both capable of playing great games, but that's where I lean is the over on this.
Sounds good. Chargers at Jets. Jets. Johnny, not Johnny football, Johnny ice cream. Chargers coming in at a -3. By the way, Johnny's been eating a lot more ice cream than you expected this year. So you said Johnny wouldn't eat a lot of ice cream this year. He's eating like he's had four bowls of ice cream thus far.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Jets at home, MetLife versus Chargers, Monday Night Football has outside of the Week 1 Monday night game. This is the first other Monday night game Jets have had in a long time. So, I think they come to perform. Their defense is going to give Justin Herbert some problems. They're still a little bit shaky in the backfield. Austin Eckler kind of injured, not injured, but he's not to his full form yet. I think the Jets defense, like I continue to say, they've been playing great. They have. I mean, that's real. Collectively, they'll get a couple turnovers. They'll get some sacks here. Quentin Williams, uh, you know, Jermaine, I forgot his name, Jermaine Johnson and Sauce, all of them boys. Jordan Whitehead's been playing pretty good. So I think this game is going to be interesting. Now, Chargers defense is another story. They have some good playmakers, Khalil Mack, Bosa, Derwin James, Asante Samuel. This is going to be a good matchup for Asante Samuel to go against Garrett Wilson. We shall see. I will lean to the Chargers though because I like Khalil Mack and Bosa versus the Jets O line. I think Zach Wilson will have problems, but what I do think that they'll counter with this is a good game for Dalvin Cook and Brees Hall. The Chargers are known to give up a lot of rushing yards. Their rushing defense is atrocious, and I think the Jets can counter that with a good run game. And I think this game stays under 41.5 just because the Jets have a better defense and they have a good running game. They can control the clock a little bit better. Chargers, I don't know what they're going to do as far as the run game. And so I would say under 41.5. And I'm going to roll with the Jets plus 3.5.
All right. Well, I'm going to say, Johnny, you've had a little too much ice cream. It's not healthy. Need to put it away. And the Chargers are going to win this game. They're going to cover the spread -3, in my opinion, because what I see right now is a Jets team. Well, first of all, Dalvin Cook should have been traded. They're not using him at all. Dalvin Cook, he's got 2 carries last game. Like, if you're going to do that with a guy who's all pro caliber, you need to like ship him off to a different team. Now, Chargers, I think that they're starting to get their stride. Justin Herbert himself is a beast on its own. Keenan Allen's balling. If Palmer's playing and he's healthy, he stepped up a lot. He stepped up more than Quentin Johnson. I think Palmer looks really, really good, actually. So, I mean, with Quentin Johnson, if he holds up, and then you got, the tight end's pretty good too. So, and Eckler's good. I think that they covered the -3. I think they covered the spread. And this is going to bring Jets down a little bit back to reality.
Well, there you have it, folks. Rapid fire. I think that was probably one of the more quickest rapid fires we've done thus far. Man, any other news? Like I said before, James Harden to the Clippers. I know it's early in NBA contentions. I don't know what that does. People wanted to see that deal get situated. Um,
What about Tyson Fury? You see
oh yeah,
that fight?
I did see some of that fight. I thought the UFC guy beat him. I mean,
Boxing seems rigged.
it does seem rigged. I think they're just doing it to sell, to get more into the same realms as other sports like football and things like that. We do got to shout out to the MLB, bro. I won't do this to the MLB. World Series baseball as a playoffs has been phenomenal. I truly love baseball playoffs. I've been giving you guys some bets. As of right now, the series I believe is 2-1. No, 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 no. Let me
Yeah, Tex. Yeah,
check.
yeah, yeah.
Text
2-1
2-1,
Rangers.
2-1 Rangers. Right now, game 4 tonight in Arizona. I do like Arizona to bounce back, tie the series up. This has been a phenomenal series, by the way. Literally, like Diamondbacks, young team, good bullpen. Rangers, good bullpen. Obviously, my boy Garcia on the Rangers is a dog. Beast back there hitting home runs in the playoffs. I know we don't talk a lot of playoffs, but MLB playoffs, second to none to anybody. They have been phenomenal. So I do want to give them some respect. To the boxing, Tyson Fury didn't look that great. I forgot the dude's name, Frank, whatever his name in the UCF. He, to me, beat him. He got some money. He got a bag. We'll see more UCF fighters along the way.
UFC.
UFC, I mean, I keep saying UCF. UFC fighters fight in boxing. I mean, Tank is getting healthy. I think he'll get a boxing match before the end of the year. Devin Haney, I think, fights pretty soon, and so is Shakur Stevens. All the little guys are the best fighters to me. The heavyweights, it's not nobody there. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't wait for when football's over and I get to shift over to watching basketball. Shout out to the Clippers. I think that's great on them getting James Harden. Hopefully, James Harden can rejuvenate his career. And when PG's open and Kawhi's open and James Harden are all open from the 3 point. Russell, please don't go and shoot that brick from the three, because bro, we don't need you to be doing that.
I go
Pass
ahead.
it off to Harden, pass it off to PG, pass it off to Kawhi. Let those guys take them home. So yeah, shout out to them. I can't wait to watch the NBA later on this year. But yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I think that Ty Lue is underrated for what he does from a mental standpoint with the guys that he picks up. He's helped resurrect Russ. I think he'll definitely find a way, because it's been said that Harden, Russ, those two guys in itself were some toxic players in the locker room. They didn't mesh well with the chemistry of the team. I think he'll figure that out. Doc Rivers tried his best to figure it out, and I thought they did good in Philly. I don't know. I think James Harden just had some beef with the owner or the GM, and I don't know. That's why it didn't work, and that ultimately got Doc fired. But I think Ty Lue will do good. We'll see. The West is loaded. The East is loaded. I'm glad we're going back to the normal setting for the All Star game, West versus East. This will make it more interesting. Like I told you, man, my Warriors will figure it out. My second team, the Bucks, they're looking pretty good. I love the combination of Dame and the Greek Freak. I just think that is crazy, bro. You got a guard that can score from the outside, and you got a dude that's just pure dominant and just just crazy. So NBA is early, NFL, college football, man. We're gearing up. We're in them weeks now, man. We're starting to get ready for playoffs. Heisman, big game this week. Alabama at LSU. I am rolling with the Tide. I will say that. Jalen Jaden Daniels, I think, as a contention for Heisman. Him and Michael Penix. Michael Penix and them, by the way, play Caleb Williams in USC this week as well. Who do you like in that one?
Man, USC has been dropping off a lot. I
They
mean,
have
now
no.
everything.
I think me and you could play. We could go get five. No, if it's me and you that needs a nine play. We go get nine fifth graders and play better defense than USC's defense right now. I'm just being real. I'm
Yeah,
more.
I know, man. I come off the edge pretty fast. So yeah, I think you're right there. I think USC. I mean, that should be a good game, but I mean that game, I don't know. I gotta check out the spread and whatnot. So we'll see. It'll be a good quarterback matchup, though. Hopefully, it's an over. Hopefully, the game goes over the amount of points, whatever that's gonna be.
Interesting thing, college over unders are way ridiculous than NFL. That over under is starting at 71 and a half.
Yeah, so hopefully that goes over. That'd be fun to watch.
But yeah, so couple games. College football is getting to that point of playoffs. My Seminoles are looking pretty good. We're 8-0. Got a
Oh
tough
yeah.
Got a kind of a trap game this week versus Pittsburgh in Pitt, I believe, or at home. We're minus 21.5, so we'll be interesting. But, man, as always, man, like, comment, subscribe to the page. We're on social media. The spiritual growth is out. It's doing phenomenal. Numbers are running up. TikTok's going crazy. Continue to like everything, subscribe everything where we're doing. 2024 is going to be insane. Trust me, we got some bright, bright, great ideas going on, man. And, as always, my number one thing is we don't give financial advice, but if you are listening, please don't drink when you bet because it does harm the games. But once you place those bets, have as many as drinks if you want. Anything else you want to say, Parlay?
Yeah. I did learn drinking actually it makes you lose like your prejudgment thought process. Like it slows down your prejudgment thought process. It takes away your filter. Your filter is a good thing. It helps you from making mistakes. So don't drink while you're making any type of important decisions, especially any type of financial decisions. But this ain't a show about gambling or financial advice. We just talk our ish and we go back and forth. It's more of like a sports debate show, but you know what it is. I'm Parlay Hunter.
I'm Life of D Green, man. Hey, week 9 in the books, man. Salute.
Get it.